Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's happening? So I just got done checking out Danny Garcia's live workout on PBC on Fox YouTube channel. And man, Danny Garcia looked phenomenal. He looked to be in tremendous shape, looked focused. Listen to his interview. You know, he talked about how important this fight is for him and how motivated he is being an underdog and feeling like he got to prove himself all over again. And he also talked about him being the hardest puncher that Errol Spence ever fought, saying that no matter who he steps in the ring with, he's going to be the hardest puncher they fought, saying that he's one of the hardest hitters in the sport of boxing. Definitely a hard puncher. As far as him being, you know, the hardest puncher that Earl ever fought or the hardest puncher or one of the hardest punchers in the sport of boxing, that's debatable. But he's definitely a very, very, he got really good one-punch power, you know, but just, you know, aside from all that, man, I could tell that Danny Garcia is extremely motivated, extremely focused. And, you know, I figured going into this fight, he was going to have his determination and his just his mental toughness and his focus. I knew that those intangibles were going to be heightened. I knew that him coming into this fight, you getting the chance to unify the division in one fight. You fighting the unified champion, undefeated in Errol Spence Jr., you know, a pay-per-view star right now, coming off of 2 successful pay-per-views. This is Danny Garcia's first headline pay-per-view. You fighting in Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas. This is the biggest fight of Danny Garcia's career. And this is another chance at, you know, superstardom. This is another chance at being a top dog. And I mean, you literally going straight to the top if you're able to defeat Errol Spence Jr. Danny Garcia recognizes all of these things, and that makes him very dangerous. Because let me tell you this, you know, there's a lot of guys that get opportunities, and not every fighter is aware of the moment. Not every fighter is aware of the position that they're in. You know what I'm saying? And it works both ways. You'll see a guy, let's take Errol Spence, for example. Errol Spence, in his last 2 fights, Mikey Garcia, Sean Porter, outside of the ring, outside of fight camp, he wasn't in shape. He'll tell you this himself. He wasn't in shape. He was taking his spot, his position for granted. You know what I'm saying? He was taking his talent, his gifts, his position, his status, he was taking all of that shit, his name, he took all that shit for granted. He'll tell you that himself. He wasn't aware of the position and the status that he was at. He wasn't aware. He lost awareness. He lost sight of that. You know what I'm saying? It also worked both ways when, you know, whether you've been on top and you fell off, and then now you getting another opportunity like Danny Garcia to be on top again, or you never had a chance to be on top and this is your first opportunity to be the guy. This is your big opportunity to stamp your legacy and say, look, I'm the motherfucking man now. You got to be able to realize the position that you in. You got to be able to grab hold of the moment and understand where you at in your life, understand the opportunity that you got in front of you. That shit worked both ways, and I can tell that Danny Garcia, he understands where he is right now. He understands this opportunity that's in front of him. He understands his position in life right now. And that's a beautiful thing, and that makes you very dangerous. Also, Errol Spence. Errol Spence realized where he at right now. Errol Spence realized that, damn, my whole life just flashed before my eyes. I could have been dead. You know what I'm saying? Everything literally could have been taken away from me just like that. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm back you know, still got my title, still undefeated, still the man. Now I got to go out there and prove it, not only to everybody else, but more importantly to myself, that I'm still on this level. In fact, I'm even better. You dig what I'm saying? So Earl Spence got a whole new outlook and perspective on life. You know, if you listen to the fight count joint that they posted on PBC on Fox Premier Boxing Champions on YouTube, you know, and Earl Spence, he said, you know, after a while, after the accident, you know, shit really didn't hit him yet. You know what I'm saying? He still, you know, he's just like, man, I got to get back to training. I want to get back to where I'm at. And he said one night he was in the shower and he just broke down and started crying. It hit him. It hit him. He said, more than anything, I was just grateful. I was just grateful for this opportunity to, I'm number one, I'm just grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful that I can see my kids again. I'm grateful that I got another opportunity to provide for my family. You know what I'm saying? And then now you start thinking about boxing. I'm grateful that I'm still the champ and I got another opportunity to go out there and defend my titles. I'm grateful that I'm in my prime right now and I can continue my career after such a horrific accident. Some shit like that'll make you break down crying, man. That shit'll make you, when you realize how far God done took you, man, sometimes you got to look back on life and you got to, you know, sometimes you have those epiphanies and you just, you know, you have a little bit of nostalgia and you look back and you say like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Damn, look at how far I came. You dig what I'm saying? Look at how far I came. And even though I overcame so much, I could have even been in a worse situation. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I think about the blessings and the things that God brought me from that I didn't even know that I was facing. You know what I'm saying? Think about all the situations that you could have been in, but something happened to where you was able to avoid that situation. And now you in the position that you in today. Shit like that'll make you break down and cry, bro. And just really thinking about your position in life and understanding how blessed you are and understanding where you came from. See, in order for you to really know where you at and to really appreciate what you got and your potential going forward, you got to know where you came from. You got to be able to recognize, like, look at my progress. Look at all the hurdles that I overcame. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mean to preach to y'all, but that shit just got me lit for a second. You dig what I'm saying? Because when Earl Spence said that shit, I felt that. That shit resonated with me. You know, and going back to Danny Garcia, that's one thing I respect about Danny, man. He always focused. He always in tremendous shape. You know, he always on his game. No, he ain't undefeated. He ain't won every fight, but goddamn it, he was in every fight that he ever had. His resume is impeccable. His resume is flawless. You look at, he done been in there with Zab Judah. He done been in there with Amir Khan when Amir Khan was still good. He done been in there with Paulie Malignaggi. He done been in there with Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. You know, he done been in there with Robert the Ghost Guerrero. You dig what I'm saying? He done been in there with Mauricio Herrera. He done been in there with Eric Morales. This man got an extensive resume, very impressive. He done been in there with Lucas Matisse, beat him on the undercard of Floyd Mayweather pay-per-view when Lucas Matisse was a motherfucking boogeyman. Everybody was ducking and hiding from him, didn't want no smoke because he was knocking everybody the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I really respect about Danny Garcia, he's aware of the moment. He recognized where he at right now. You know what I'm saying? He recognized the position that he in, and that make him very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's why I was saying early on, like, bro, we don't sleep on this fight. This is going to be a great ass fight. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of intangibles and it's a lot of, you know, small details outside of just the fight itself that make this shit so exciting. But then you turn your eye to the actual fight and you see that this shit is a beautiful and action-packed stylistic matchup. You got a boxer, you got two boxer punchers. Both, that right there, two boxer punchers versus each other, that's fireworks. Because the fight can go so many different ways. You know, it could be a dog fight, it could be a chess match. You know what I'm saying? It could be both. You did? And with this fight, you got two boxer punchers, but two different styles though. But they got different things that they do best or better than the other. They got different calling cards. There's different styles. And, I feel like Earl Spence got multiple styles. Danny Garcia got different ways that he can fight as well. But what makes this shit so exciting is that you got a counterpuncher, predominantly a counterpuncher in Danny Garcia. And then you got a guy like Earl Spence Jr., who, as I stated, can fight multiple different styles. But when he at his best, when he crushing shit, when he fucking everything up, he coming forward with tactical aggression. Shout out to my boy, he knows his sport, Mr. Tactical Aggression. He comes forward with tactical aggression and is very precise, is very, intelligent pressure. You dig what I'm saying? So you got a guy like Danny Garcia who gonna be, he gonna be sitting on the back foot trying to counter Earl Spence. Earl Spence gonna have to stay away from those big ass haymakers and those sharp counters from Danny Garcia, because Danny Garcia is one of the best in boxing when it comes to timing, And even though Earl Spence is quicker than Danny Garcia, Earl Spence is more active and more busy than Danny Garcia still got the element of timing and power. You know what I'm saying? And he's a great counterpuncher. And you got, like I said, Earl Spence, he gonna be first. And he gonna be trying to pick his shots. And, he got to take chances to get on up in there and get his shit off. In order to go to the body, you got to take chances. So Earl going to have to take his chances, pick his shots, and close the distance. And shit, motherfuckers going to clash. This going to be a good-ass fight. And I can see this shit going many different ways. I'll drop the prediction next Monday, the week of the fight. We're going to do a prediction. It's going to be Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to do an official prediction. You know what I'm saying? But Danny Garcia is extremely focused and determined. And he's aware of the position that he's in right now. And that's a very important thing. You know what I'm saying? And it makes him very, very dangerous. But we already talked about where Earl Spence at mentally right now. And I don't know if we ever seen a more dangerous Earl Spence. I don't know if we seen... Like, to be honest with y'all, and I'm not, of course, everybody want to know what his punch resistance going to be like. I think the brother going to be fine, but we'll never know until he get in there and take a solid shot. You know what I'm saying? But let's say Earl Spence punch resistance is fine. Let's say his chin is as good as it ever was. Then what? This might be the most dangerous Earl Spence I ever seen. A guy coming off of what he came from. Y'all seen how he attacked that workout in the open workout, man? You don't want to take too much away from the open workout, but I could take little small things. I'm talking about the energy. You look at how ferocious he was, how vicious he was on that bag. You look at how focused he was, his determination. When Derrick James told him, they want us to go do the interview, man, Earl said, man, I ain't worried about that. I'm focused on my workout. That shit right there mean a lot. That right there mean a lot, bro. That tell me a lot, man. This dude focus and determination is on a whole nother level. And he said in the interview, he said, look, I'm looking to make an impactful statement. I'm telling y'all, man, this probably the most dangerous Earl Spence that we seen yet. Because keep in mind, not only does he have the hunger, the determination, the focus from when he was hungry coming up, trying to get a world title. Not only do he have those elements, but he's 30 years old, just turned 30 this year, smack dab in the middle of his physical and mental, not mental prime, physical prime. You know what I'm saying? Because, as a man, mentally, you going to continue to elevate and grow. And 45 years old, you're going to be on a whole nother level mentally. You dig what I'm saying? But physically, the man in his prime, smack dab in his prime, and he got the hunger and the determination of a young, hungry lion that ain't never had shit. Man, this shit finna be crazy, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. What did y'all take away from Danny Garcia's open workout? And are y'all peeping the energy that I'm getting from Danny Garcia with his determination and understanding the moment. Both fighters are understanding where they at right now. And that's why this fight gonna be so damn good, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Contender regime boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.